serious, yeah. I'm serious this
Okay,
time.
here we go, live here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are getting ready for the All-Star Open. This is probably one of the most exciting day/night events here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I am being joined in the commentators booth by two drivers who are in the All-Star race, already locked in, Trent Dunham and Charles Sanford. Now, Charles, I want to ask you a question first. How has your luck been ever since spinning out Kyle Matthews at Auto Club?
I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Never gonna let me get over that one, are you?
Nope, Trent, let me tell you the story, okay? So,
Uh-huh.
we're at Auto Club, right? And I'm in the commentator's booth, or I'm commentating with James Qualls. And all of a sudden, there's a caution on the racetrack in the middle of green flag pit stops. And who is it? It's Kyle Matthews, spun out by Charles Sanford for no reason whatsoever off of turn 4.
Wow. Did you mean to
Now,
do
worse
that, or did you just want to rattle his cage a bit?
Oh, no, he
We're
meant to do it.
remembering Auto Club is my home track. There we go.
Oh.
And it's my teammate. He was doing better than me.
Oh no, Trent, he meant to do it. He said he was trying to be the highest finishing S3 Motorsports car at Auto Club. So not only did he spin out Kyle for no reason, but also trapped Jessica Shelton a lap down.
Wow.
That was an unintended consequence.
Anyways,
I thought she hadn't pit yet.
now Trent, question over to you is, for these 28 drivers, you've got 3 chances to make your way into the All-Star race. What's the strategy for most of these drivers?
Well, at a track like Charlotte, it's very you can run the high line, but try to do your best to stay off of that wall because coming out of turn 4, that wall can come up on you, and the All-Star races that I've had in the second Cup, a lot of things can happen after that exit of turn 4 and into the trial. So these drivers are gonna have to watch out if they want to join those other drivers who are already in the All-Star race.
That is right. That is right, as well as the All-Star Open rules, which you'll see pop up here in a little bit. We'll go over them shortly. The engines are fired. We got the first 15-lap segment where the top 3 advance into the All-Star race. Now, we're going to go over the rules real quick, and we'll be right back for the restart, or for the start of the All-Star Open.
Restart? We haven't even started yet.
Yeah, shush. Alright, as you can see here, these are the Budweiser All-Pro Series All-Star Open rules. We got 3 segments, 2 15-lap segments where 3 cars advance into the All-Star race, and then a final 10-lap segment where the winner advances. And those were the rules as you saw. 2 15-lap segments where the top 3 advance, and then a final 10-lap segment where only the winner advances into the All-Star race. As we're coming to turn 4, Trent, Charles, you guys are locked in with wins so far this season. What's it going to be like watching these drivers fight to make their way into the All-Star race?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting just because these are the guys that are going to be in their last chance here, desperation mode. Maybe haven't had too much of a good season yet and just try and get some momentum going.
And look at the bright side. If they all fail to get into the All-Star race, but don't forget, there's the Coke 600 right after. Is that right?
Yep. Green flag is out. We're underway in the All-Star Open. And it looks like already Emmanuel Hartnett is going to try to go 3 wide.
Yeah, he is taking that 23 wide into turn number 1 on the inside line. Not necessarily the line I would probably choose, that, especially when they're going to tighten up like that. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy, they're racing pretty hard here, heading into the back straightaway. They're already 3 wide rows back. As we now see the 24 of Elijah Gordon getting right behind the 20 with the help of his teammate.
Oh, already got trouble on the first straightaway here.
Spinner! That was hard.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, 13 hard.
32
God!
flying. 32
I
flying.
I can fly.
The 32 car of Alexander Rowe is falling through the crowd. I don't know how he's able to drive that car, but he is trapped on the outside of the racetrack.
He's stuck on the outside. Okay, I've never seen that happen.
I'm used to seeing cars fly
And
here,
I'm pretty,
but
and I
not.
think it's safe to say that he killed someone in the stands.
Oh, he probably
I
killed a
think he
lot of
killed about a
people.
few people,
Oh yeah.
especially the people that were underneath getting a beer or something.
I've never seen that happen.
Well, on the bright side is as long as he doesn't retire from the race, he can try again in the next segment. But a very bizarre start to the All-Star Open here at um here at Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words right now. We'll be right back, and we'll see what happened, I guess, to start this caution. Ugh. Alright, well, a very bizarre start to the All-Star Open. Maybe that could rival the start of the 2001 Winston. As you see, Shane Lake, 37 car, hits the wall, bounces off the wall into the 43 of Benjamin Miles, down into the 13, turning the 13 car sideways and heading straight up for the outside wall.
That's going to be a heavy hit. Almost driver's side, at least nosed it in, which is better.
Hard hit for Barreto in that 13, but I'm trying to see what happened to the 32 because as we see contact from the 40 and the 43, the 37 spins out right in front of the 32, just holding out that entire inside. The 62 had absolutely nowhere to go.
Dylan Poteet there.
The 31's in behind this as well as the 62.
I think,
and then there's other people getting involved.
I think the 32 activated his what's that called? The Millennium? No, it's not the Millennium.
I think they installed I think they were trying to install hydraulics, but they forgot that was banned.
Yep.
The 32 needs to go to the garage area for having illegal parts.
Right.
I would be really concerned about the suspension of that car after the hit too.
I would too. Honestly, I would. But remember, if as long as you do not DNF out of this race, you will have a shot at coming back in the second segment. So I guess let's go back and see how many cars have retired and are done for the day here at Charlotte. We're back here at Charlotte, getting ready for the restart in the first segment. Only 2 cars have retired. The 13 and the 43 are done for the day. They are packing up and heading home. Our top 10, Emmanuel Hartnett, Elijah Gordon, Daniel Bouchard, Jake Smith, Levi McIntyre, William Brock, Andrew Davis, Kyle Langland, Austin LaPlante, and Kyle Matthews round out the top 10. And here's the story of the century as we're getting ready to come back to the green. The 32 car who catapulted into the stands, got back onto the racetrack.
And under the bleachers.
Yep, got back on the racetrack and is still here in contention. I don't know how up to speed he'll be, but he's still in contention. As we're back up for the lead, as
we're hearing that amazingly enough, because it was lap 2, no one was yet underneath the bleachers for beer. So
we have a battle for the lead already.
Anyway, as they're coming down the back straightaway into turn 3, Elijah Gordon's now trying to get the lead away, but here comes the pulsar to Jake Smith trying to bounce back.
And they're going to be 3 wide. It's Hartnett on the outside.
Hartnett hit the wall a little bit there. I saw it. He definitely scraped it. Almost came back into traffic.
Field getting spread out this time.
Yeah, a little bit behind Poteet there. There's a big gap for the next couple of cars. Probably all
and there's 3 wide for an irrelevant position in this race.
Hey, got to find a way to get to the front in any way you can.
See Andrew Davis and Kyle Langsland trying to work side by side now as Andrew Davis now goes to the inside trying to pass that 6 car of Levi McIntyre.
I find it interesting you have all 3 SHR cars here kind of working somewhat together, at least they were. Now the 4 passing the 14.
Kyle Langland almost won at Dover last week, but ran out of gas with 2 laps to go.
Tough that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, tough break for him. As we back up at the front, we got a couple of Hendrick Motorsports cars now, 1 and 2, with Elijah Gordon and Daniel Bouchard. But I think Bouchard wants a little bit more.
I think the 72 wants to pull off a little bit of an upset, get that top 3 spot.
Teammates working together as they try to go side by side
I wouldn't necessarily call that working together.
Trying to hang on to that lead away as we're having a battle for 5th between the 6 and the 10. The 10 is William Brock back there. He's going to have to settle for 5th place, but he may not have it for long because now here comes Andrew Davis by him along his teammate.
It's just the top 3 spots that matter with 6 laps to go. Levi McIntyre going to try to scoot his way in there. Now, we all know the story with the 72 car. He's had strong cars. He's led a lot of laps this season, but just can't close it with a victory. Something always happens to that 72 car.
McIntyre's all over that back bumper, and now he's going to try to look to the inside to try to take away that final transfer spot from the 72.
He's there.
Outside line's going to get the run off the corner, though. Oh, he slid up into the wall.
Oh!
No.
That's going to cost him a bunch of positions.
Not only the transfer spot, but 3, maybe even 4 spots by the time he gets back up to speed.
And it's a good thing, too, because the field will be randomly inverted at the start of each segment. So that might not be such a bad... That might not be such a bad thing for that 72 car, as look at the 14 car had a good run on the 6, lost a lot of ground. Now he slides up into the wall.
Oh, so maybe not enough grip on those tires for that outside line to work right now.
You guys definitely trying 3 wide here.
Oh boy. Kyle Matthews in the 42 as well.
Oh, there we go. There we go. 2 cars are
Oh, that did not take long at all.
Oh no,
oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh, the 41.
Oh!
Oh, wow. Hard hit between teammates.
Oh, and the 37.
And that's going to be... Wow!
Oh, that timing. Oh, no, the timing of that. And the 32?
I don't think Shane Lake had any idea where to go. He just was praying that he would teleport back to pit lane.
Well, that's going to be 2 SHR cars done, as well as now the 37.
Oh, but who's to say though? Maybe
Oh, what's this?
Maybe
Levi McIntyre pitting, and we're going to end this race under caution.
Wow!
Oh, no. But wait
wow.
though. You never know. Sometimes drivers they can go down pit road like on other laps during the caution, so who's to say?
Well, but, I mean, you're in a transfer spot with 2 to go under yellow. Oh.
That's I don't know what his decision on that
Don't forget those other cars sitting in the good, right? If they can hold off until that checkered flag waves and they're still in pit road, they'll still be in the race. They won't be officially retired yet, not until the ticker says so.
All right, well,
see, I understand the strategy from the 4. He's pitting because he wanted to probably start up higher. Well, and yep, there's the 1437 out.
14 and the 37 are out. A couple of cars a lap down. That could be a good thing as long as these cars right here stay that way.
Patrick Smith hasn't taken his car yet to the garage area yet, so he still has a chance as long as he stays there when the checkered flag waves. But as soon as that says accident or retired, he's done.
Yep, Elijah Gordon gonna win this race under caution as they're gonna speed up just a slight bit here. Patrick Smith 2 laps down. They're really
still not out.
Still not out.
There he goes. He's out now.
And that's it.
Now he's done.
So we're down to 23 runners.
Oops, totally didn't mean to do that. But
whoops. Good job. We're professional.
Yep, we are. As you see, these cars have officially made it into the All-Star race now. Elijah Gordon in the 24, Daniel Bouchard in the 9, and William Brock in the 10.
And Levi McIntyre, if he does not advance to the All-Star race, will be kicking himself over that one.
Yep.
And Michael, another word. And you said that the field is going to be inverted in the next segment, correct? Excluding the 3 cars who finished in the top 3.
Correct.
Well, look who's going to be on that pole.
And the cars that retired.
Oh, who's going to be on that pole?
Oh, the murderer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be so bad that now he's known for that.
Yeah, right.
In terms of this series.
All right.
Oh, who are you? Oh, yeah, I'm just a car that went into the stands at Charlotte.
Well, we're going to be down 5 drivers in the next, 8 drivers. We're going to be down 8 drivers in the next segment as the 37, the 14, the 41, the 13, and the 43 are done, while the 24, the 9, and the 10 all move on. So, we'll be right back, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the second half of this race. Alright, we're back here. These cars back out on the racetrack, getting ready for the second of 3 segments in the All-Star Open. The drivers who retired after the last race have packed up and are going to watch the race later on from the pit boxes. The 3 drivers have taken their cars behind the wall to get them prepared for later on tonight. The field was inverted, like I said, so the 32 car managed to who finished dead last will now start on the pole for this race. Coming to the green flag, it's going to be interesting to see if there's only 20 drivers remaining. Which 3 of these drivers are going to transfer, as the 17 got a good jump on that restart.
Yeah, he did, and they're going to be 3 wide for the transfer spot into turn 1.
Let's hope we don't have another car going to the stands. And I know we ridiculed McIntyre by taking that pit stop and basically losing his chance to get into the All-Star, but this may have been his plan because he started off near the front, but he's going to have to get off that outside line if he wants to stand a chance to try to actually get into the All-Star race this time.
Oh, for the way the camera looked there, almost looked like the car was blowing up in the field.
It looked like it, as Levi McIntyre, they managed to make it 3 wide in that turn without hitting the wall.
We survived. We're doing good.
Yep.
Now they're going to settle it back down to 2 wide. It's a battle up front between the 48 of Austin LaPlante and the 32 of Alexander Rowe. LaPlante and Rowe still side by side battling for the lead, and you got Michael Whitman, the Daytona 500 pole sitter, here in 3rd place. The outside line had a good run that time.
Yeah, it did. Outside line normally seems to work well here at Charlotte, especially off turn number 4. Be interesting to see how that maintains going into the night, though.
Yeah.
No, but now we see the 11 car making his way into the final transfer spot. That's Jay Jefferson, which I believe, I think at the start of this whole thing, he started last place in segment 1.
No, he started up near the front. And I just get a random message from Seth here. The top 3, I may be able to pull him in here for the final segment. But the final 3, oh god, my
32, 48, and the 11 right now in the transfer spots. The battle for 4th between the 42, the Daytona 500 pole sitter, and the 17.
Joshua Sekuli now selling behind that 42 car as Michael Whitman is trying to do whatever he can to hold them off, as the front 3 is still the same. But the 48 is now trying to look to the inside to try to take the lead away, and the 11 is coming right behind them as Austin LaPlante now takes the lead.
And now it's going to be a question of, can the 32 maintain it? Can Rowe hold on to the lead or at least hang on to a transfer spot?
Yep, we're 5 laps in. We're 5 laps into this 15-lap segment. The All-Star Open. I believe I have another person coming in from the garage area to come up here and join us for probably the last half of this segment and for the final segment in general.
I think he's working his way up to the booth as we speak right now.
Yep. As we now see the 11 of Jay Jefferson all over that back bumper of the 48. And now he's looking to the inside at the entrance of turn 3, as he will now do his best to take the lead away. But the 48 is trying to hang on to that outside, and he better hope that he didn't smack that wall, as LaPlante will keep that lead going.
It's a real battle for the 3rd and final transfer spot here. As Michael
Between
Whitman,
the 42 and the 17, yeah.
Michael Whitman and Jordan Lopez really battling, but here comes Carson Gum to the inside, as well as you got 32 Rowe, Holdever up here. The top 2 are broke away. It's going to really be a battle for this final transfer spot.
And desperation is going to start to set in because these guys know that there's only 4 spots left open in the All-Star race. 3 here and then 1 in that final 10 laps.
Hey, here he is. Seth Cole. Seth, thank you for coming up here and joining us in the booth during this awesome All-Star Open.
Yeah, I mean, great to be here. I mean, I ended up getting told a little bit late, but I'm here.
Well, you also didn't have free time until now.
Well, I was busy filling out my Blame Shelly insurance form, so you know.
Well, I mean, the only thing you missed if you weren't watching in the garage area before this, we had a car make it into the catch fence and into the stands in segment 1. And his car is still running in this segment.
That would be
I
this car
probably
right
should have
here.
filled out a Blame Shelly insurance form for him too then.
Yeah, he should have, yeah.
As we're battling,
Because he probably needed it for the crowd, too.
here are your top 3 right now. Broke away as a battle for the lead. The top 3 gets into the All-Star race. We already have Elijah Gordon, Daniel Bouchard, and William Brock transfer in via the first segment. As we got 6 laps to go in the second segment, you got these 3 cars up here. Could they transfer in as the 11 of Jay Jefferson battles Austin LaPlante?
And this is exactly what drivers like Carson Gum on back and Alexander Rowe need. That those guys that are 4th on back need these 3 to battle. In all honesty, they had spread out so much, I didn't think they really needed to battle.
Well, see, I don't understand. Exactly, I agree. I don't understand this strategy. I mean, the 11, 48, 17, they already know right now they're in as long as they can keep the gap between themselves and Carson Gum. Why battle? That just hurts your lap times.
And Emmanuel Hartman, he's leading that second pack. He's going to try to do what he can to catch that 17 car, but no, man, and we haven't yet another
they've caught him.
lead. Austin LaPlante trying to go to the inside of the 11 for the lead once again as the laps are indeed winding down. They only have 4 to go.
By the way, Trent, that's not Emmanuel Hartman. That is Carson Gum in the 19.
But I'll tell you what, that 11 might have just screwed himself
excuse
out of
me.
a transfer
I'm sorry.
spot because with battling there with the 48 crossovered him, and now he's stuck on the high line, and he's going to have to battle his teammate. Boy, the 11 got a big run out of 2, though.
Yeah, he did. The 11 got a big run out of 2. The outside line really comes into play as, once again, the battle's heating up for the transfer spots here, coming to 3 laps to go.
Can Carson Gunn get up there with his teammate? The 17 is really doing a lot of defensive driving, and the 48 of Austin LaPlante, he just up there all by his lonesome.
And remember, there's no points on the line. You have to transfer in, so you can guarantee that Carson Gum will do whatever it takes to move that 17 out of the way for the final transfer spot.
Absolutely, he's not a teammate. It's just race and it's just business. Let's see. Oh wait, come into pit lane.
Oh my
It
goodness.
stops, really? Oh my god,
Wow.
everyone's pitting. And the 42 stays out.
The 42 stays
Oh,
out.
no.
The 72 stays out. The 4, the 31, the 5.
72, remember, wow, what a job by the 72. Remember, he actually had to start on the last row because he was one of the first cars not to advance out of segment 1.
They only
And you
have
can hear-
1.5 laps to go.
I guarantee you, crew chiefs of all 5 of those cars are saying save, 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 so they don't have to pit here, come to the white.
And
Remember
they
that-
make it, though. We're going to have to keep an
Worth
eye on the
noting that-
44 to see if he comes down.
Here they come.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Oh,
and the 4
no.
pit. The 4 pit at the end of that first segment. Oh wow, that is a heartbreak that they couldn't
Just
make it.
gas and
15
go.
laps.
Just
Yeah.
gas and go. They're literally coming to the
Couple
white.
seconds of gas. That's all you need.
Oh my God!
Just
and the
gas and
32,
go.
the 32 came out
The
of
32!
Oh my
Oh!
goodness.
The
You
car
gotta
was
be
in the
kidding.
He was
stands!
6th or 7th when the pit stops began.
And he was in the stands in segment 1. He is
I'm guessing
putting up
the
a
30, the
claim
32
to be the
either
most
gas and
exciting
go or
guy.
he took 2 tires.
This is incredible here. I cannot.
Alexander
believe-
Rowe putting up a claim to be the most exciting driver today.
Now here's the thing. Those 5 drivers that came the lap after, they have to hope they get up to speed on the back straightaway before these guys get out of turn 2.
Well, they're already off. They're already off. This is easy
This is
going to
the
be
white.
for the 42.
This is the white flag. Let's bear in mind with that.
Yes, this is the final lap here as the 42 is just hanging on to that lead. You
This is
better
where
hope
it's gonna
he
be.
can
Who's
keep it.
third?
This is
Michael
where it's gonna be.
Third.
Whitman.
Look
Dylan
back third.
Pote. Can Dylan Pote
Here we go.
pull off the hard charge?
It's going to be Pote to Rowe.
That 4 might block the 32, so Pote might be okay.
Oh, he's on the outside, but it's not going to matter. Michael Whitman wins segment number 2. Jake Smith is 3rd, and Dylan Pote gets the last transfer spot in segment
second.
number 3.
You said third twice.
Oh well.
Oh my
You get,
god.
Everyone's third.
Everyone's third.
Everyone's
You're
third. You're
Everybody-
third. You're third.
Everyone's
Everyone's
Oh, okay,
third.
so
Everybody's in the
everybody
all-star
didn't even
race.
have to race this. Everyone got third, so they all transfer.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Dylan Pote Dylan Pote snakes away with this one. I could not believe that.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. Was it the fact that there were only 5 cars on pit road with that second group, so it was less congested that maybe helped them out? I'm not sure, but whatever the case, staying out that extra lap definitely played dividends for the 42, 72, and Pote in the 31.
Oh, and only 1 car retired, Tony Green. I'm not
Whoa,
sure what happened to that
what?
to the 62 car, but Looks like we're gonna have
Did he
another.
blow an engine?
I'm not
Well,
sure.
maybe they had some extra damage from that segment 1 crash that we just didn't realize, and they figured out it was not drivable. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but it looks like we're gonna have a 19-car field for the final 10-lap segment here in
16.
the All-Star Open. No, it's 10. It'll be. Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, no, it's 16 drivers though,
Yeah, that's
because
right,
you have
good.
3 that transfer.
Yep. All right. So, as the cars now get fitted with new tires, the field's going to be inverted one final time. So, let's get back up to it. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Back here once again for the final time for the All-Star Open. The last 10-lap segment. We got 16 cars left.
And Levi McIntyre's strategy of throwing away an all-star spot in segment 1 still coming back to haunt him.
Yep, right now he's leading here. He's going to lead them to the green flag. 10 laps. Only the winner in this segment will transfer into the all-star race. Green flag is out. Here we go. And boy,
This is
did that 92
McIntyre's
car.
last chance.
That 92 car got a good start. But here comes the 96.
So the 96, they're going to be 3 wide for the lead into 1.
That did not take long at all. It's the 96 already going to that outside, and oh man, that's just gonna leave McIntyre stuck in the middle.
With double final starts here, I think you're going to see them through white all the way through the field here for this final 10 laps.
I think so too.
Oh yeah, see, come on.
They're going to have to watch the 92. Does he get the wall off 4?
Nope, Kyle Matthews now looking possibly to the inside of the 96, but the outside line is going to get the run off of turn 2.
Yeah, it's had the better advantage almost since the end of segment 1 here, and wow, what an advantage it had off there.
Now, before we had the pit stops in the last segment, we almost had a Gibbs car in a transfer spot. Well, 2 Gibbs cars, actually, the 11 and the 19. Now the 20 with the inverted field is up here in the second position of Emmanuel Hartnett with 1T. And yes, that's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
That's how
Hartnett
I
ran
got
well in
two
segment
turns
1.
because their cars almost look exactly the same. But yeah, Hartnett now takes the second spot.
Whoa!
They
And
got
around
this
the outside comes
Whoa.
the 17.
I'm telling you,
Well, he
Kyle-
was strong in the second segment, and also remember the 48 of LaPlante. He and the 11 were swapping the lead around before the pit stops in the last segment. He's up in the top 5.
Kyle Matthews slapped the wall off of turn 4.
Well, okay, so
Oh, that may have just ended
Michael
his
was
day.
right.
He held,
I told
and
you
now,
Kyle wasn't going to get in.
and
My mama always told me
he holds up
if
Deaver
all
and
slaps, you just slap it
McIntyre.
back. So Kyle is doing what his mama told him.
The 20 and the 90.
So Hartnett ran well in segment 1. We had the 17 who ran well in segment 2. They're both up here in the front now.
Battling side by side, but they still have both caught the 96.
Yeah, 96 out in front. That would never happen in real life. Isn't NR beautiful?
Right?
Very.
Ratings are beautiful.
But now we have the 4 car coming up in 4th place, Langeland now, and he's going to have a bumper full of that 37 car.
Gonna have to
Oh,
watch out for
by
the
the
4.
way-
He's been strong all day long.
By the way, taking a break a bit from the action here, I want to ask Seth this. Seth, I don't know if you've seen my Dover race yet, but what happened between you and Poteet in that race?
I don't want to talk about it.
Battle for the
Why do you
top
think
spot.
I was filling out a Blame Shelley insurance policy in the infield?
Battle for the lead. Lopez looks like he can get it, but the outside line.
And he's got it.
He can't.
I think
He
he's gonna
can't
be clear
him.
though,
He can't clear him, not yet at least.
and that's gonna open the door for the
That's
4
going to
and the
open the
20
door
to
for
get
the
up
4
here.
and the 20.
Oh, look at this right here. Lopez takes the lead, coming to 4.
Where the heck the 47 come from?
Joshua Sakuli,
Darn you.
he was our points leader coming into this, or going into Dover, but lost it at Dover. He's looking to go, and look at the 20 car, had to back out to the throttle a little bit there, might have clipped the apron.
I think he did. Yeah, I got 2
Yeah, he
tires
did,
down that white
and-
line.
He's gonna be able to. Hartnett able to block the 96 though.
Hartnett now.
Time is running out if they're going to want to have anything for that 17 car, because that 17 car has been strong for the past 2 segments.
But here's the thing, the 17's been making a lot of passes in the high line. That seems to be where he runs best. What's going to happen here if, someone gets to his back bumper? Can he hold the bottom?
That's going to be a good question. Hartnett now. Hartnett with a good run off of turn 2. Look at him.
Both
gonna go
cars
to
ran the middle
inside.
groove through 1 and 2.
Yeah, they did,
Oh,
and
boy,
Hartnett's
Hartnett
gonna
look
be.
to the inside of
Oh,
Lopes
he-
right now.
He put a nose underneath there, but couldn't get
He's
it in the
there.
stick.
Ooh, 17 got loose.
Oh, boy.
But he's going to get the run. 2 to go in the All-Star Open.
What does they say? Loose is fast. So 17 is definitely fast because he's loose.
He's flashed?
Yeah. He's flashed. If you ain't flourished, you're flashed.
Oh my God. 1.5 laps to go as Lopes just heads into turns 3 and 4 for the second to last time. The white flag is now waving. Does Harden have anything for the 17?
Boy, that might have been his moment right there.
Here he goes.
I wouldn't get that outside, though. Harden's going to make the move.
He's got it. He's not backing out of it. Harden now.
But remember, the 17's good up top.
He cleared him. He cleared him for the lead.
He cleared him. Harden to the lead.
Emmanuel
17's got to probably try a crossover move here, but I don't know if he's close enough.
Not close
Final
enough.
shot.
Off of turn number 4. It's going to be Emmanuel
Off
Hartnett.
of last lap pass.
Emmanuel Hartnett gets the last transfer spot into the All-Star race. And who finished dead last? Kyle Matthews.
Of course.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
And you know that someone's probably going to get fired on that 6 crew's pit crew or whatever because they had that. Someone's going to get fired on that 6 crew because they had the transfer spot in segment 1 and then pit with 2 to go under caution.
He got caught in that sucker hole in the middle, and he just couldn't recover after that.
Who was there? Like a NASCAR driver was told that the pit crew was eating ice cream. I think the pit crew on the 6 team was eating mac and cheese.
Apparently, I think so. And they got distracted on how many laps to go. They said, okay, yeah, come on in.
Yep.
And here's the official finishing results.
And not that any of that matters.
Yep,
We were only racing for the win.
It's all about Emmanuel Hartnett. Emmanuel Hartnett, he gets the victory in the final segment. He transfers into the All-Star race. He becomes...
And maybe if Emmanuel Hartnett wins the All-Star race, with all that money, he can buy an extra M for his first name and an extra T for his second name.
Listen, okay. Listen, okay. His full name would not fit. So I
am aware of this fact, but having seen his name so many times, it just kind of drives me nuts. I'm sorry.
Emmanuel Hartnett with the win, and that's really all that matters. Is everybody else has got to pack up their cars and wait for next week here at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. As later on tonight, the All-Star race is going to take place. 75 laps, 21 drivers. It's going to be interesting. These drivers up here with me are going to be in it. Seth, Charles, and Trent, you guys, what are your guys' strategies possibly for the race tonight?
Survive.
Stay away from that outside, don't hit the wall, and watch out for the catch fence.
And don't hit the glitch.
I don't know, Trent. Last time you were up here predicting a strategy, it really happened. So you said.
Oh my God!
You said you were gonna.
Hey Trent, say I'm gonna win.
Seth, you're gonna win the All-Star race.
It's in the cards.
No, freaking, that was so funny. Trent's like, yeah, I'm gonna take it easy in my dual race. I gotta bring this Dodge home in one piece, and he fucking finishes dead last, losing the pass.
Shut up.
Oh God. Okay. Anyways, so good luck to the 3 of you later on tonight. My name is Michael Norman, the voice of the Budweiser All-Pro Series. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best. Saying, until we meet again.
See ya.
Bye.